Do you know what food products contain gluten and casein in it?
Your common gluten products are your wheats, your barleys, your whole grain foods, oats. Those are the most common foods in that. Your casein products are the dairy products, the cheeses, ice creams, yogurt, and then those are the most common for that one as well.
Earlier today, I found an article that was based upon a small group study, and like you said earlier, there's been no link to autism and the gluten and casein-free diet. And there was a specific sentence that I was a little confused on, and I was wondering if you could help me elaborate a little bit more on it. It says the diets are based on the theory that people with autism don't digest cereal grains and dairy products completely, so they tend to absorb toxic byproducts. Can you explain this problem a little bit further?
Yeah, the idea in that theory lies in let's use the common population like you or I, for example, to start off. When we drink a glass of milk, we have the enzymes in our body that can break down that lactose. We have our lactase enzymes. This is just an example that we can break those down, and those molecules will be through our digestive tract, and we can get rid of them, and we can use the nutrients, etc., in our body. The theory is in patients with autism, they lack some certain enzymes to break down the gluten or the casein in their diets, and what some researchers believe is that from that lack of breakdown from their proper products is they get these byproducts that are proposed to be toxic in a sense, causing the worsening of their autistic symptoms. So that's where that idea lies. Now, there is no link to that. It's just another avenue that investigators are starting to look down to see if there's an association between the disease of autism and these molecules, the gluten and casein molecules.
Okay. Well, from there, I was also wondering, do you think that researchers will ever declare that the GFC diet, which is gluten and casein diet, will ever be effective? Like, will it ever be proven to work?
There needs to be a lot more research done. Like you said, the study you looked at was a small group study. They need to do extremely large group studies with thousands of patients to generalize to the common population. There needs to be a lot more research done to get a definite answer. This is just an ongoing process, just like anything in medicine. It takes a very long time for researchers to come to conclude on a certain idea or hypothesis that they believe something works. Like I said, it's an ongoing process. So there needs to be a lot more research to be done.
Okay. Now back to my main research question. Are there any pharmaceutical drugs that are gluten-free and casein-free?
The only way to tell, I mean, there are little manufacturers out there that make certain over-the-counter products that are deemed to be gluten-free.
What are they? Do you know?
They'll put it. I don't know offhand, but you can easily go on the internet and access which companies make their vitamins or minerals gluten-free. The issue that you run into when you make tablets or capsules in the pharmaceutical world is we use different inert fillers in our capsules and tablets. So we have our active ingredient, which is the drug itself, that exerts its mechanism on the body and helps us whatever it's treating. Then you have fillers in the pill that make up the rest of the pill, and that's where the issue can lie, whether they contain gluten or other inert ingredients where people can have the intolerances to. So the only way to know for sure is you need to go on each individual manufacturer's website or speak to a representative of the company and see which inert ingredients they use in their pills and capsules to get a definite answer.
Okay. What about medication in general? Like, is there any medication that is shown to benefit children with autism spectrum regarding Asperger's, PDD, any type of autism?
Yeah, absolutely. You can, in like you said, the spectrum. I mean, there's nothing itself that treats autism, but the symptoms that are associated with it. If a child has an attention deficit disorder, we can use medications such as medications in the class of Ritalin or Adderall, which are the most common ones to help treat that. And in other medications where, generally the most common form is the overactivity, and we do have medications that are very commonly prescribed for that. So in that sense, those are the medications you kind of think about with autism, but to link a medication to treat the actual disease state of autism, there is none.
Do you think that eventually, down many years from now, there will be something?
It's tough. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff in the pipeline that they're looking at. I mean, just by looking at the casein and gluten-free diets, does that link? Will that improve the symptoms of autism? researchers are probably looking at different medications that exert different effects on the body through our neurotransmitters in our brain. You know, that's one of the proposed mechanisms of autism disease is something, you know, not quite our neurons firing the correct way, like such as a quote unquote normal person without the disease would work. We don't know enough yet. Researchers do not know enough yet to the autism. We're learning a lot more as the years go on compared to 10 years ago, but there's just no. It's a very tough disease state to get a hold of right now. So we're learning more each day, and maybe hopefully down the road we can develop something that will help children with autism.
What type of vitamins or nutrients do these children lack if they're not having gluten and casein in their diet?
Well, I mean, you start out with a casein. Your dairy products, our common thing that we think of when we're growing up is our calcium intake. We need calcium to build bones. So when children that are developing aren't getting this calcium, their skeletal system is not going to be developed to its fullest degree. So that's a big issue. As far as the gluten products, the wheats and those, certain vitamins and minerals, the gluten stuff, the wheats are supposed to be good for your cholesterol, your good cholesterol and issues like that. I mean, children don't really have that many problems with cholesterol as adults do. But I think your main thing is anytime you restrict a child to a certain diet, you're going to have a lack of certain vitamins that they need to develop with it. But you got to make sure you supplement with those. So as long as they're supplementing with the correct vitamins and minerals, it won't be a problem.
What's if parents don't realize that they're lacking deficiency in these products? What could happen to an autistic child if they don't have gluten and casein in their diet and they're not alternating it with supplements?
I mean, it's tough because you won't see that until years down the road. If a child's if they're smaller than normal compared to the rest of the population in their age group, are their cognitive development, which is the way their behavior, their thought process. Can you compare that with the norm for the kids in their age group? So that's the only way to tell. You have to. That's how they do it in the pediatric world. Is they compare it to the population of kids their age and see where they lie in the tables. Are they developing at a normal speed? Are they ahead of development? Are they is their development retarded in a sense? Are they not developing the way they should be? That's how we can figure that out. And like I said before, we don't know too much yet to the link with these diets and not giving these to the children to help them with their autism. So it's one of those things where time will tell. You have to implement these diets in these children and see what happens.
What are a child's most nutritional needs other than what we just talked about, which was calcium?
I mean, they need everything. They need all the essential vitamins and minerals. They need all the essential amino acids, the protein building blocks. They need to build their teeth need to be strong. They need to build the skeletal systems. The neuronal connections in their brain when they're developing it is essential. There's certain vitamins and minerals we think of that contribute and help with that. So just anything, all the vitamins, your A, D, E, C, K vitamins. We need those. We need those in development. The minerals. It's just an essential in developing. It's like trying to run a car without gas. It doesn't work.
Okay. Even though you believe that this diet doesn't work, do you think that older children, adolescents, or adults could respond positively to this diet?
You got to try it. The only way to figure it out, to see if it works, is you try it. You implement it and see if their behavior improves. Like I said, it's not proven. Could it hurt? No. It couldn't hurt at all. I mean, it sounds like the research is there. They're getting a little bit better understanding of it, so you just need to try it.
Okay.
And that's why there's the need for possibly more larger scale clinical trials to be done, so we can get the evidence and we can get the definitive evidence to see if this works or not.
Is there possible withdrawal when a child is first starting gluten? Like, is there any way that they could have, like, a craving for, like, wheat products or, like, go through any type of withdrawal?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a withdrawal.